Hello, it's Molly Reamer with a final resource video for this month of August with our theme of transform and our goddess Pele. And this is my Pele card buffet videos. So everything that I couldn't fit into my other videos, all the Pele cards that I have from different decks and resources are now going to be explored in this Pele heavy video. So the first one I've got here this is a deck I actually kind of almost forgot about, and then I saw one of our community members post the card from it, and then I remembered I'd actually already gotten her out, but I kept her she was still left in the envelope, stuck behind another card. So anyway, perfect for her, time for her to emerge. So this is from the Goddess Knowledge cards, I believe. Yes, Goddess Knowledge cards. So this is our Pele card from that. So Pele, as we know, is the fiery Hawaiian volcano goddess, the daughter of the earth goddess Haumea, who is, I have a special affinity for because of being the goddess of midwifery and childbirth, and that was a previous deep passion of mine. And so she's an early goddess that I found a kinship with, is actually the mother of Pele. And so Pele came to Hawaii on a boat, killed in a fight with her sister. The ocean, she took refuge in the glowing cauldron, where she received the souls of the dead and regenerates them with fire. So that's one of the first times that I've seen that relationship, that reminds me of Persephone, the underworld and the guiding the souls of the dead. Though in another video I mentioned how the sister relationship reminds me of Inanna and Ereshkigal, and that sometimes we have to be wary when we see a story of a battle between sisters. We have to pay attention to the potential patriarchal overlay there that has turned power and women's power into a quote-unquote catfight. And so just be wary of that when you see a story like that emerge that's about the sisters, particularly if the sisters are battling over a man. Like, we need to give some consideration to what might lie deeper beneath that story. So anyway, so in the tempestuous relationship with a ferocious pig god, she's portrayed as a jealous goddess, again with the patriarchal overlay, and her rages manifest as volcanic eruptions. Maybe she has other things to be upset about besides just a man, who sounds like a pig god too. So anyway, that's interesting. Well, pigs are important. That I'm putting my own Western overlay on whether a pig god would be a desirable companion, and I forgot that pigs are extremely important. And so, sorry, I take back what I said about the pig god. Okay. Revered by Hawaiians even today, she carries the force of the volcano with its molten lava flow, which even in destruction creates new land. Pele stands for the molten, fierce aspect of life that is unable to do anything halfway, the molten, fierce aspect of life. So you might wish to consider, how are you in touch with the molten, fierce aspect of your life, that deep inner heart, that deep core beneath all the distraction and the division and the worry and the concerns? What's the fierce molten core of your life? And she reminds us that even in the midst of fiery eruption, there is still creation and new life. Even in the midst of fiery eruption, there is still creation and new life. I have to apologize if card was hard to read while also having it a screen, and I'm having to peer over it a little bit. So my apologies about the camera work or lack thereof present today. Okay, so the next card is Pele, be empowered by anger, the goddess of fire. And I'm going to acknowledge that particularly for women, for people who are femme, for people who are socialized as women and girls, there is risk to anger. There is risk to anger, and many of us have learned that it is not safe to be angry, and so we turn the anger into something else. And likewise, for men, people socialized as men, people who are masculine presenting, there's often a expectation or a pressure almost to convert everything into anger. So women are socialized to subvert and convert anger into something else, and it can show up as depression, it can show up as anxiety, it can show up as like self-hatred, it can be internalized and turned inward. And then men are encouraged to turn things like fear and sadness and loss and grief, they're encouraged to turn that into anger and to have that come out as rage. So there's a real weird gender stuff that happens with anger and rage. So that's where we are. And so you might want to consider your relationship with your own anger. And then also we see people who are just seem angry all the time, or who are always itching for a fight. And so we can see an overuse and an over-reliance on anger as a solution in the culture. And so that can make us afraid to express our own anger or feel our own anger, because we see how anger can be so destructive and we don't want to participate or be part of that destruction. So anyway, anger is a complicated one. So goddess of fire, volcanoes, passion, anger. Tempestuous goddess named Pele. Pele rules over all kinds of fire, but especially over lava that flows from erupting volcanoes. Famed for her love affairs as well as her temper, Pele often appears to her worshippers in the guise of a woman as beautiful as the moon. Others say she looks like a hag with brown flesh as crumpled as coarse lava, which we could look at that as what might be kind of cool to have flesh like lava. But whichever way the goddess chooses to present herself, all agree about her fiery temperament and her ability to destroy as well as create. The passion of anger has an urgency that can help us better our lives. Pele's ability to present herself as either a hag or a seductive woman suggests the inner turmoil that rage can create in women, which I was already talking about earlier. It reveals the ugliness and the discomfort that women often feel when angered, along with the empowerment that anger can bring. So, be empowered by anger, or dance with your own anger. Consider your relationship with your own anger. And then we've also got the Pele card of divine passion here. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So this one comes from the Goddess Guidance cards from Doreen Virtue, who, as I've shared before, has kind of renounced her previous work and doesn't support it anymore. I still find the deck a valuable resource. I understand that people have differing opinions about whether or not one should still use it after the author has kind of reneged on what she's said. But I didn't use it for several years, probably 8 years or something, because I was bothered by that reneging. And then basically my anger softened and I started to see that the wisdom's still present there. So a message from Pele here. If you listen to the sound of your heart and breath, you will recognize the ancient rhythms of your own internal drumming. And there's a quote that I really love, I think from Lane Redmond, that we were all drummed into this world by the heart rhythms of our mothers. We were all drummed into this world by the heart rhythms of our mothers, and I love that. So if you listen to your heart and breath, you recognize the ancient rhythms of your own internal drumming. This forever connects you to the mother of all creation and to the sound of planet Earth. These rhythms can't be faked or forged. They're natural and eternal. So what part of yourself might you be trying to ignore? What part of you has been overly concerned with pleasing others to the detriment of hearing the sounds of your own rhythm? Dear one, reach out, extend your arms, and embrace your dreams. An affirmation could be, I extend my arms to embrace my dreams. They are just as much a part of nature as the trees, the animals, and the sunsets. Don't your own dreams deserve the same respect that you accord to everyone and everything that you love? Listen to them, my child. Listen to your dreams. They will activate powerful eruptions of passion in your life. So an affirmation could be, I listen to my dreams. Don't be afraid of your own passion. Another affirmation could be, I embrace my own passion. For it will propel you naturally and will excite and invigorate you. When you dance to the rhythms of your life, you are truly alive in all ways. So an affirmation might be, I dance to the rhythms of my life. So some other meanings to consider with this card: make sure your career matches your true interests, take a class or start a hobby that really excites you, change jobs. Wow, she's really getting optimistic here about the different things to do. Go on a wonderful trip, invest time and money in manifesting your dreams, give yourself permission to go for it, start a new business. Oh my goodness. Make an honest assessment of how you spend your time and list your priorities. So she also points out that Pele's dynamic strength is sometimes misunderstood. She shows us that life can purify, can release us from the old and make way for the new and ignite our passions. Without fire, nothing would change. Without fire, nothing would change. Call upon Pele to help you get in touch with your true passion and to charge up your motivation and excitement. Pele will help you feel everything on a deeper level, so be unafraid of taking action to manifest your heart's desires. An affirmation there, which I may have already said, I take action to manifest my heart's desire. I take action to manifest my heart's desire. And so, as already shared in a previous video, my own Pele card from the Story Goddess Oracle but it has a reminder on the back about our theme of the month, transform, and our affirmation, I choose and change. And then there's a little prayer in it, or a little blessing / practice. Summon yourself back home, seize your own life and waltz with it, back into the rhythm of belonging. Do not settle for small and cramped, controlled and confined. Burst the edges, spill forth, live and create, unconstrained, sovereign, wild, and free. So may you follow the call of your desires. May you dance with all your feelings. May you live and create unconstrained. Thanks so much for being here. Keep living your magic, everybody. Bye-bye now.